Welcome to FreemasonPodcast.com. The current series features selected articles from Mackey's Encyclopedia of Freemasonry. I am your host, Jeff Day, past master of Laurel Lodge No. 13, Ancient Free and Accepted Masons of Oregon, currently a member of McKenzie River Lodge No. 195, located in Eugene, Oregon. Today's subject, Quorum. The parliamentary law provides that a deliberative body shall not proceed to business until a quorum of its members is present. This law is applicable to Freemasonry, except that, in constituting a quorum for opening and working a lodge, it is not necessary that the quorum shall be made up of actual members of the lodge. For the proper officers of the lodge being present, the quorum may be completed by any brethren of the craft. As to the number of brethren necessary to make a quorum for the transaction of business, the old constitutions and regulations are silent, and the authorities consequently differ. In reply to an inquiry directed to him in 1857, the editor of the London Freemasons magazine affirmed that 5 Freemasons are sufficient to open a lodge and carry on business other than initiation, for which latter purpose 7 are necessary. This opinion appears to be the general English one, and is acquiesced in by Dr. Oliver. But there is no authority of law for it. When in the year 1818, the suggestion was made that some regulation was necessary relative to the number of brethren requisite to constitute a legal lodge, with competent powers to perform the rite of initiation, and transact all other business, the Board of General Purposes of the Grand Lodge of England, to whom the suggestion had been referred, replied with something like Dogberian astuteness, quote, that it is a matter of so much delicacy and difficulty, that it is thought advisable not to depart from the silence on the subject, which had been observed in all the books of constitutions. End quote. In the absence, then, of all written laws upon the subject, and without any constitutional provisions to guide us, we are compelled to recur to the ritual for authority. There, the answer to the question in each degree, how many compose a lodge, will supply us with the rule by which we are to establish the quorum in that degree. For whatever number compose a lodge, that is the number which will authorize the lodge to proceed to business. The ritual has thus established the number which constitutes a perfect lodge, and without which number a lodge could not be legally opened, and therefore necessarily could not proceed to work or business. For there is no distinction in respect to a quorum between a lodge when at work or when engaged in business. According to the ritualistic rule referred to, 7 constitute a quorum for work or business in an entered apprentice's lodge, 5 in a fellow crafts, and 3 in a master mason's. Without this requisite number, no lodge can be opened in either of these degrees. In a chapter of Royal Archmasons, 9 companions constitute a quorum, and in a Commandery of Knights Templar, 11 knights. But under certain circumstances, 3 knights are competent to transact business. If you wish to support this podcast, please share it with others and subscribe by visiting FreemasonPodcast.com. Follow @MasonPodcast on Twitter or @FreemasonPodcast on Facebook. You may also pledge Freemason Podcast on Patreon. Any amount, however small, is appreciated and allows us to continue producing episodes. Until next time, brethren, keep spreading the cement of brotherly love, relief, and truth.